in the deeper state of meditation, where there is absolute silence outside and inside. Eventually, there is nothing outside and inside. Your inner state of consciousness, which is in a very balanced state, spills and make friends with outside silence. That is the time when the secrets of our inner consciousness starts revealing. Meditation in the beginning is difficult, but with persistence and perseverance, things start clearing up. All the various components of our inner psyche start showing up. As you go deeper, you realize there is outside world, and somewhere between the outside and the inside world, a very thin line of your body shape, and within the body shape there is dance of the mind, the thoughts which have become very insignificant. And then there is consciousness. Consciousness takes up the rest of the field, which is so much bigger and more powerful. And the consciousness, along with its silence, and this silence is profoundly deep silence, where the thoughts have been transcended. And this consciousness starts spilling in between the thoughts, through the body line to the outside world. Everywhere you see, there is consciousness. We see the proofs of consciousness everywhere, whether it is a small earthworm trying to find its food, or an ant running hurriedly looking for food for itself and its babies, or a mother taking her child to the school. Everywhere there is consciousness. If the consciousness disappears, the whole world will come to a standstill, because every action outside requires the awareness, the consciousness, to connect the two components so that world can progress. If mother does not have consciousness about her child, she cannot take her to school. If the child does not have awareness what he's learning at school, his learning cannot happen. You put food in your mouth with full awareness what you're eating, what you're expecting. All these are examples of consciousness spread all over. So your inner consciousness, you can realize it's being spilled all over. And little by little, you realize the whole consciousness, rather whole world, is flooded with consciousness. So it takes time to analyze everything inside. But ultimately, is the consciousness that's going to establish its kingdom if we allow it. It's our choice whether we want to choose the inner consciousness or we keep choosing the material objects, people, situations, and keep getting involved with those things and not even paying attention to this consciousness, which makes the dance of the life possible. If you go further in, you realize that consciousness is a flow. It's a continuous flow. It's coming from somewhere that you cannot figure it out, but it is there. It's a continuous expression of urja, meaning the energy, but it's coming from within. We are a source through which the urja is flowing from within to without. There is a pattern in life. There is a rhythm in life. The inside energy flows to the outside. It utilizes the mind to think and body to act. And these are the two resources urja has to do what? To create this world, beautiful world, beautiful flowers, birds, suns and moons and galaxies. Urja is operating through us. Urja is infinitely big, has no shape, no size, no color. And we are lucky that we are created to be utilized in this process of creation. The only time we can be friends with this inner consciousness is when we are also in creation mode. Creation is a beautiful process where there is a rhythm, there is a flow. Flow, it goes from inside to outside. There is no room for any flow in the reverse direction. Creation is not just accumulating the money or accumulating homes and doing this and doing that. That has nothing to do with creation. Creation is a tough process to understand unless you reach to the inner state of consciousness. Then everything becomes obvious. Creation requires a long-term commitment. It requires total control of yourself in the field of wisdom. You require total steadiness. So your vision of creation remains absolutely fixed. It's almost like mother raising a child, a typical mother, the best possible mother, how she will raise her child. She will have well-being of the child in her mind all the time. She has nothing to gain from this. She's there to give. This is a small sansaric example of how a creation can take place. Or somebody building a temple with dedication towards Almighty Consciousness, Almighty God, but where the full devotion towards the vision takes place, 100% involvement in this process, and the Creator will have the well-being of whatever He is creating ever present in His inner consciousness. So imagine this consciousness that you will find within yourself is a flow, is a continuous flow of energy. A lot of achievements have been taken by the total commitment. Einstein, sitting in his postal position where he was hired, was his ordinary job, but his inner consciousness was continuously alive to solve the problems of the universe. All these creations ultimately benefit the humanity. So whatever position you are in, wherever you are, find the source from where the inner consciousness is flowing. Once this inner consciousness is realized, now you have infinite energy at your disposal, and you see this flow which is going in one direction, and you give more and more importance to this inner consciousness by becoming aware of it. You can become aware of your own awareness. And in this state, where you are fully aware of your inner consciousness, magic happens. Now, you have realized the flow of life, which is flowing from inside to outside. So accumulating anything for your own self becomes less important. Not that you don't take reward for your actions, but the society will give you the rewards. You're not going to snatch it from the society. So it's the inner intention is what matters. You go outside, you work, you get paid, which is fine. But your eye will not be on the reward, but your eye will be synchronized with your inner consciousness. Whoever is around you becomes part of your creation. If you are at home, you are creating a beautiful family, a family where the consciousness, the awareness rules rather than personal gains. You become a true giver rather than receiver. And in this environment, other people also become giver. Imagine a family where everybody is a giver rather than taker or receiver only. Life will be beautiful, and before you know, you have been part of the creation of a beautiful family. Same way you go to work, or you have a group of friends. Wherever you are continuously in a creative mode. And in this creation, most of the work is done by your inner urja and your realization that this consciousness ultimately is the one that rules the world, the one that has created this world, and the one that has set up this flow the dance of life, where receiving is a taboo, giving is the goal. But this goal is not going to happen until you realize the consciousness. Whether you are interacting with your customers, your patients, or your friends, or your family, you become a giver. And the joy of life will be with you. Because when you don't want anything from anywhere, you realize that you're synchronizing with this consciousness, which has created you in the first place. So you, of course, come second to the inner consciousness, because somebody's creation can never be bigger than the Creator Himself. So you as an individual ego will never be able to get bigger than this consciousness. But this realization, it takes a lot of patience, a lot of perseverance, and ultimately reach to the state of inner realization. That's when you realize that you are nothing compared to this vast kingdom of consciousness. And this vast kingdom of consciousness has been creating for eons, billions of years. It has been creating, and it has gone through rocks and minerals all the way up to the human beings. This creation is not stopping. It's going to go on, and you want to be part of that creation by coinciding with the ideas of Creator, where you dissolve yourself and you become part of the whole dance of life, which is the ultimate joy of life. Have a good day.